This is Business and Economy Network.
Hello viewers, glad to know you are watching your program. Those of you watching us far away, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Ilori, Kano, Kaduna, those of you watching us outside the shores of Nigeria, I want to say thank you so very much. You are watching Business and Economy Network. My name is Sereman Peter Nwoche. I want to say special congratulations to all Nigerians for our independence celebration, 57th anniversary. And I also want you to take note of this date. On the 23rd of November 2017, we have the Made in Nigerian Product Conference being organized by Green Spring Communications Limited. It's going to be at Prote Hotel, Exit John in Ikeja, Lagos, Nigeria, 23rd November. For the program rundown today for Company in Focus, we have the Chairman Chief Executive Officer of Rural Homes Limited. And not left out for special report, we have the Chairman Chief Executive Officer and his other executive, Eta-Zuma Group West Africa Limited. And for Spotlight, we have the CEO of Salco Limited. And a big congratulations to the Bolariwas, who recently celebrated their 25th wedding anniversary and also the 5th birthday of the dear wife. I want to say big congratulations to you, sir. Well, it is Business and Economy Network. It is deep, it is incisive, and it will be definitely very informative. Watch out.
In every economy, there are individuals who stick out their necks in making sure they make impact in their immediate environment. They look out for needs, challenges around them, and create solutions. Their life is all about what they can give to better the society, not necessarily what they can get from it. The role of these individuals cannot be overemphasized. Their activities and businesses are very vital to the achievement of national socio-economic development in providing the right goods and services as well as employment for the citizens. This is the case of Alhaji Musa Dangogo Aliyu, the Chairman Chief Executive Officer, Homes Group Limited, owners of Rural Homes Limited, Distinctive Homes, Mataba Farms Limited, to mention a few.
When I started the urban shelter, I started alone. Then when the time came for me to get a secretary, I got a secretary, and then I got an NYSC to be taking some books for me. So from there, we are just adding. Today, urban shelter is a powerhouse. They, directly or indirectly, they employ more than 2,000 people, and with a lot of responsibility. Again, even taking care of the larger family and the rest. So it's not an easy thing, but the rewarding thing is that anything that is done with degree of truth and honesty, definitely you will arrive. Because after all, God told us, the Almighty God told us that He created this earth, that is the heavens and the earth and what is inside, with truth, and therefore He wanted us to emulate truth in order to go back to the truth house where Iblis, Shaitan, has thrown out our grandfather Adam and the rest. So that is what gave me the vehicle to be what I am today, and I'm happy. Me too, my children are looking at what I'm doing and they are trying to copy also, and I'm happy to see that they are taking to that kind of this. And I even told them that they should be honest in whatever they do. They will say your lies today has ended, but your truth will never end till eternity. People say you cannot buy experience. So in urban shelter, we have done such kind of a market. Therefore, we have seen, because that was our first market, we have seen some of the problems being encountered now after about 8 years of running the place. So therefore, we have taken all those problems and now turned them positively to make this Karumo market more modern than any market in Abuja. Whereby first you will have an ample parking space. We have parking space of about 1,200 cars inside the market. What the problem with our local markets, when you come, why some of the modern people today, they don't want to go to our local markets, is that you will see even there is no parking space. And then when you even have parking space, you are just descending your good shoe into kind of mud. So, but the way we are doing this market, it will be like even the family will feel as if they are even going out for a kind of tourism activity or something. So, and then even the spacing within the shops is different, because we look at the sun and the air circulation into the system. And then we have even the whole drainage will be underground. You will not see a kind of open drainage that will be maybe a water pool kind of, that will have this mosquito infection and water infested kind of situation. So we have modern generators that are very, you will not even hear the sound. And also there is storage facility for water. In Abuja, there is no problem of water. You have 24 hours water. But you know, you are dealing with more than about 2,000 to 3,000 shops. And in each shop, you may have about 3 attendants or 2 attendants. And then the people that are coming for buying, so you don't take chance. So we have also a fire service, a purposeful built fire service office, whereby they will have all the gadgets, and also there is a tank constructed to be solely for the fire hydrants. That is, should in case there is any problem, then the issue of water is not a problem. So, and the way we want to run this market also is that today, customer is the king. So you have to understand what does he need and be able, so it's like we and the owners of the market or the people who rent a shop there will be like friends that will synergize on how do we move this market that you are happy, we are happy. Because we'll be the managers of the market for 20 years. So in that case, we are not ready to play with anything now that will give us headache tomorrow. Yes, so we even in quality wise, we are trying to put everything right, because we realize that if you don't do it, it will be like a snake that you scotch it without killing it, it will be herself and maybe attack you. So.
Eta-Zuma Group West Africa Limited is a one-stop shop solution provider for all the challenges faced by companies involved in solid and natural mineral businesses in and outside Nigeria. The executive chairman, Dr. Innocent Eta-Zuma, gave his thoughts on made in Nigerian products, looking at production, patronage, and consumption. Most salient challenge in Nigeria is the issue of power. Persistently, government must do what it can to fight and face off this enemy, standing as a clock to the successful progress wheel in Nigeria. Most products are expensive just because our raw materials are exported for refining, processing, and later imported back to us at very outrageous prices.
This material is not made in Nigeria, and I'm not happy about that. We have a lot of cotton that we manufacture. We sell our raw cotton out there. Some other guys produce this material, bring it back here, and sell it times 100%. And why are we not manufacturing these fabrics here? Why? Even we have I know designer that I'm supporting with money. They make the design, Nigerian designers, beautiful designs of materials. They take it out there for them to make the material and then bring back the material here. So, because we don't have the print. And why don't we have the print? Because we don't have power. So the issue of power is a vicious cycle that continuously hunt us, continuously suppress us, continuously oppress us. The government must take decisive action to fight this singular enemy of Nigerians. All right? In my group now, we have about 1,500 staffs all over. 99.9% Nigerians. And the idea is to also create empowerment center where we train Nigerians, freshers from school, to be able to be employable, because that in itself is also a big problem, a big challenge in Nigeria. I believe that the government initiative of supporting Made in Nigeria is the right thing to do. There is nothing unique in making that decision. It's the right decision. So, but we are happy for this administration that are saying that it must have to be made in Nigeria. And not just saying it, but supporting it. All other economies, they support their country-made products first. All right? So, yes, our own made in Nigeria may not necessarily be the best in quality, but you need to start supporting it over time. As they earn money, they improve on research, on R&D, research and development, and they continuously increase the quality of their product. All right? So Nigerians will have to know that, okay, you are paying a price today in order to have this same quality, in order to have job for your children in this country, all right, in order to have taxes paid for government to be able to meet up with all these infrastructural issues we are talking about, infrastructural deficit. So it's a chain reaction. It cannot go any other way. So if you have a product that is made in Nigeria, to me, I prefer to buy and invest everything that is made in Nigeria before I can buy the other one, that even though that one out there may be better, right? But I buy that one that is made in Nigeria just to encourage whoever the manufacturer is, so that they can gain money and they can develop and they can increase in their quality.
A good thing though that Nigeria as a government are beginning also to notice. I think we have the Minister of Mines and is it Power, Mines and Steel, sorry. The fact that they have that minister and the Nigeria is beginning to focus more. I know we had it before, but the emphasis in coal mining, I think, is better than what it used to be. So with that, I'm sure even if Nigeria is trying to diversify from oil to agriculture, and with coal mining, I'm sure it's also a power generating, product. I'm sure we'll begin to, because given what's going on now in oil, the unrest, and then people depending on, there'll be a time when you may not see this oil again. In other European countries, I'm sure they are also coming up with how to, in the next, I think year 2020, they will start, instead of involving themselves deeply in oil production, which is also causing unrest in the world. So if Nigeria will buy a leaf from that, we'll begin to diversify like we're trying to do, instead of just saying it in mere words, to put it into action. And coal would be maybe a better way of, diversifying from oil to other source of energy that the nature has given us. It's just the way of mining, in which Eta-Zuma is taking the leadership of trying to at least mine this coal.
The Zuma Group and its client companies, either exploration or mining or power generation or adding value to solid mineral products like briquettes and so on, we expect to have crystallized these objectives. In coal, we're already mining coal. We expect to mine a lot more because the industries that demand coal are now coming up and actually robustly looking for coal, making use of the coal we get. For example, the cement industries, Lafarge, Dangote. Of course, the key uplifter of our coal will be Zuma Energy, that will use coal to generate about 1,000, it has a license already to generate 1,200 megawatts of electricity, and that will require an average of 6 million metric tons annually. And when that succeeds, it means that we can actually get quite a lot of energy out of our coal resource. In our mining license area, we already have about 380 million metric tons of coal. That will generate over 5,000 megawatts of electricity for the next 20 years to 30 years. So this is the potential. I mean, that is, we're talking of what we can get out of 3 mining licenses. And the exploration goes on because you need to be sure what you have and where you have it. And so this is our aim. So in the next, between our next 4 or 5 years, we will see a crystallization of these assets and making them real. Now, of course, as you do that, you create job, you create wealth, you do all sorts of things. You add to the GDP.
Salco Limited, with Dr. Dimeji Lawoyi as its MD CEO, is a conglomerate of different companies, ranging from import-export business, real estate, and most especially agriculture. Because agriculture, according to him, is said to be the way to go today in Nigeria. Salco is majorly in the business of processing grains into its final stage for export and various uses. Grains particular to Salco are sesame seeds, soya beans, cashew nuts, and ginger. Salco Limited is into veterinary medicine, agrochemicals, insecticides, etc. Some raw materials and machineries are gotten from notable sources like Europe and Asia, though all efforts are being made on how components can be sourced locally here in Nigeria, thereby adding value to Nigerians and the economy.
Salco Group is a conglomerate of various subsidiaries of companies that is into the agri sector, into the real estate sector, and into the import and export sector pertaining to the agri chain. The agri sector, we participate in more in the agri processing, where we process various grains into their final products. We do processing of soya into meal and oil, and we do exports of sesame seed, where we process it to the final grade for export. And in the real estate, we do property development for lettings, basically. We have strength in the area of the real sector, but as you know, with the economy, the agri sector is the way to go. So we are more into participating in that particular processing sector. There are obviously various sectors in the agri sector. Production, there is the processing. We have decided to pitch our tent with the processing. When we say the agriculture, we are talking of the processing of the grains. We do various grains. We do processing of ginger for export. We do processing of cashew nuts, sesame seed, and soya bean. For the veterinary, it's basically more about bringing of those inputs. We bring in veterinary medicines and other agricultural medicines or chemicals, as you may call it, the likes of the herbicides, insecticides, and fungicides. That's what we do basically. Our vision basically is to stand out as a very strong, transparent company that could interact with all global partners to be able to add value in the agri sector. What we have done basically is we bring in some of these inputs, as I might call them, from European countries. But nevertheless, we have found other Asian countries to be strong because we found out that they do have good, strong raw materials. So we source our raw materials from Asia, we source some from Europe, and the way forward is to eventually see if we could compound all these components locally in Nigeria for local consumption, thereby adding value to the agri sector. We are processing sesame seed, which we export to Turkey and also export to Holland. We do ginger, dried split ginger, which we do export to Holland. So those are the two principal grain products we export. We do have agri-chain supporters that do go into the hinterland to educate some of these farmers. But you will be shocked to understand that most of the farmers have the basic experience. They know what they want and they know how to get it. They know where the sources are and they know how to get these sources. Nevertheless, the government is or has created one-stop shop center where they have adequate input suppliers all over the nation, and people do go to some of these centers to source most of their inputs generally.
Mr. and Mrs. Olaita Bolarewa has many reasons to thank God Almighty as they celebrate 25 years wedding anniversary and the 50th birthday celebration of Mrs. Funke Bolarewa. Mr. Bolarewa is the MD CEO of Fex Mazimo Point Industries Limited, located in Akure, Ondo State, Nigeria, makers of one of Nigeria's finest edible oil. Friends and families came out in their numbers to celebrate with the couple and children. Green Spring Communication Limited was there to cover the event.
It's not easy to have 25 years of marriage, and it's not easy to be 50 years old. We're very thankful for everyone that's been here, and we're very thankful to God for all His blessings.
And I just wish my parents many more years together in good health, and like how this father that has come, who really lives in their marriage. Also, like for everyone that's come to celebrate with us from home and abroad, we appreciate you all. We just want to say thank you, we love you, and we pray that you all go back to your places safely. And like when it's your own time to celebrate, we will not be found wanting and will not be missing in the next level for us.
This is Business and Economy Network.
Well, this is where time will permit us. Remember this great word of great Pele, who says, success is never an accident. It takes determination, perseverance, and focus for you to arrive at your destination. And that is why, as a footballer, you take out time to always train. It might be painful, but you must train. I am doing my own path. What are you doing? Remember, on the 23rd of November, the Made in Nigerian Product Conference being organized by Green Spring Communication at Prote Hotel you are invited. Be there and see what Nigerians are producing and for Nigeria. Stay blessed. We'll be back next week.